Hi, my name is Dr. Nancy Eldredge, and I'm a psychologist here in Tucson and a member of the Southern Arizona Psychological Association. And I'm here with my good friend and colleague, Dr. Courtney Schuneman, who's also a clinical psychologist in Tucson and a member of SAPA. And the Pima County Library has asked us to prepare some tips on how to maintain self-care during this holiday season. And so we'll be talking about that with you today. Um, One of the things that we probably all know is that the three big ways of taking care of ourselves is through exercise and nutrition and getting sufficient sleep, among others. But sometimes those are pretty large concepts and large goals. And so we wanted to try to break it down into different kinds of techniques that might be manageable, particularly during this busy holiday time when we all have so much to do and we feel like we don't have enough time to really do all of the self-care routines that we might have been doing all along. So, Courtney, I'd like to have you invite you to talk about some of the things that you have found to be helpful in maintaining your self-care or that could be helpful for others, me included, for my self-care for during this holiday season.
I'd be glad to. Thank you, Nancy. So I know it's wonderful if we can all get a good jog in or a good exercise, hour in each morning. But obviously, this time of year, the busyness kind of consumes us. And it's how do we build in little exercise throughout the day? It may be parking a little bit farther from work or farther from the store, so you have a little extra calories to burn as you're walking through. One thing I love to do is to dance while I'm cooking in the house, or also look at exercise as vacuuming. When you're cleaning, preparing for all of the holiday, family and friends visiting, cleaning up, all of that counts as exercise, and kind of reframing that for yourself can be helpful. Uh, with nutrition, I really focus on hydrating. I fill up 3 to 4 of these a day and I bring them with me so I don't have an excuse of not having it, and really try to make sure that these are all completed by the end of the day. Really focusing on hydration. With food, trying to be intentional about what I put in my body, both food and substances, alcohol included. And sometimes, before you go to that big party, sometimes having a healthy snack might be an option. And just being intentional with making the right choices of foods that uplift you versus really just bring you and make you feel lethargic. Another thing with sleep is really trying to plan around time to make sure you're getting that wind down routine, really trying to make sure you get enough time to decompress. With helping to fall asleep with all the thoughts in your head, a lot of times I recommend doing some breathing techniques. I'm sure you'll probably hear people say, do relaxation breathing, but how do you fit that in? So what I tell my clients is if you have to go to the bathroom, if you're drinking enough water, you usually have to go to the bathroom about 6 to 7 times a day. And if you're in the bathroom 6 to 7 times a day, can you do just 3 or 4 deep relaxation breaths where you really want to work on diaphragmatic breathing, like deep belly breaths, breathing in, holding it for a few seconds, and then breathing out. And if you can build that in throughout the day, that really helps with calming your autonomic nervous system, helping come down from all the stress and the go of the holiday season. And often I recommend trying to do that before you go to bed at night to really help you just decompress before, hitting the sack. Any other
Yeah.
ideas you have?
Yeah, those are great ideas. It also occurs to me when you were talking about that there are a lot of different kinds of self-care. In addition to the big three that we've just been talking about, there's also, psychological self-care, which may be setting boundaries with other people. It may be, limiting your exposure to people or activities that are toxic. Um, Filling your life up with people that fill you up and that are supportive and nurturing. And sometimes that means setting boundaries. It can also mean that you tune inward. And so you tune inward and live a mindful sort of a life. And mindfulness can be anything, even when you're, washing the dishes or writing out your cards or whatever you do, just being fully present in what you're doing as opposed to worrying about the future or the past. And the other part that I think is really important, especially at this time, is that, we all want to have a good self-care routine and we all know what it's supposed to look like. But setting your expectations up so high can sometimes be discouraging if you're not able to accomplish it. So I think it's really important that you have realistic expectations and not feel guilty. Let go of guilt. Let go of guilt that you don't have the perfect extended family, or let go of guilt that you don't have the perfect celebration, or let go of guilt that you don't have the perfect present, and just let go of that perfection and that putting that pressure on yourself. Because I really do believe that a lot of self-care, particularly during busy times that are hectic and demanding, that a lot of self-care really is about practicing self-compassion, which is, being kind with yourself and, giving yourself some slack, or, cut yourself a break. So I do think that's rather than having those high expectations, having appropriate expectations may be helpful. Courtney, do you have
That's
anything else
great.
you want to add to that?
No, but I'm just trying to find some new creative ways to slowly build this in throughout the day and being mindful of both the psychological and physical self-care. It's all important.
Yeah, it sure is. We appreciate your time and I appreciate you listening to us. And if there's any other way that we could be helpful, please reach out.
Have a wonderful holiday.
Yeah, have a great holiday. Thank you. Bye-bye.